Beat Making Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe because we're coming back to back with bangers. So if you're brand new to Logic Pro 11, I'm going to be showing you how to make beats in Logic Pro 11. So pretty much what I'm going to be doing in this video is making a beat from start to finish. So when you first open up Logic, you're going to see these different options to create different types of tracks. If you're new and you're a beginner, what I would recommend doing is using maybe a sample to get you things started. So how we'll do that is go to a MIDI track, and under instrument go to quick sampler, make sure that's selected. You just scroll down, it's midway through, click stereo and push create. So the first thing I'm gonna be showing you is just how to sample. So we'll just click this open here. This is your quick sampler. Pretty much you have different modes here: classic mode, one shot, slice. I'll have to show you when we drag and drop here, but you have these different modes. You drag and drop the sample here, and you can affect how it sounds here and lock it into place and different things like that here. So let's just pull up and splice real quick, and I'm just gonna pick out a dope sample that we're gonna use to make our beats. So this is Splice. You can get samples for anywhere. They have TrackLib, they have, go to beatmakingbasics.com and get some loop kits there. But pretty much what we could do is, I'm just gonna exit out all of this. But you can just come over here and maybe go to genre first, depending on the type of sample we'll do. Let's just do a soul sample here. We'll do a hip hop beat. And then I can go to one shot and loops, go to loops, and then go to melody down here. And now we can pick out of these. So I'm gonna click like deep in this. Let's go 9. Let's go 14, see what they got in there. All right, so we'll go with that. So I'm gonna take this and we're just gonna click on there to add it to the library and then drag it right over here, just as such. Once it's in Logic Pro 11, I can go either to classic mode or we can go to slice. In slice mode, I can pretty much come over here, change the intensity or sensitivity, make the points go through beat divisions, equal divisions, or manually set the points up. So I can come over here like that, that. I'm just gonna go through these transients like such. So now, if you look down here, you can see these are coordinated with notes. So we got C1, C sharp, D, goes all the way up here. If you want, you can change this from chromatic, which is the white and black keys, to like say just white keys. This could be good, like say if you're using your MIDI keyboard. Now, as you can see, it's kind of like running into each other. What you could do is click gate, and then what that will do, and also follow tempo. As long as you hold down the note, that's how long the note's gonna play. You can hold down Option to zoom in here and then greatly get these points where you want them. Now, once we have this all chopped up in here, I can come and start cooking up. So Move this right here, create an 8-bar loop. All right, cool. I just had to play around with the notes a little bit. And then we're just going to push R to record. So I was a little off, but that's cool. Just double click it, and then you can come in here to the to the piano roll and edit your sample. I'm just gonna go ahead or quantize it. Quantize it. Let's check that out. Make sure this is following the right tempo. Sometimes you have to like work with these samples. Okay. So in the case when this happens, basically what's going on is sometimes Logic doesn't like properly sync it. So what you could do is just drag the sample right on in, and we'll have to sync it first here in the actual workspace window, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Y'all probably watching like, man, what's going on? Why isn't it not working? This is actually a good thing that this happened during this video for a beginner. This is what you'll do when that happens and it's not lining up. Bring it into the workspace window, and then you want to go to your flex tools, this hourglass right here, okay? And then put it on automatic polyphonic and see how it's like this. You want it to either be like right on here like this. It might be too fast. Or you can stretch it out like that. And then you just take this and then you can put it right back in here and it should line everything right up. So I do have to come in here and redo these points, but it should be lined up pretty solid. So yeah, you got to come over here, redo these points. My bad, y'all. It's not my fault, man. Logic didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? So we had to play this again. Happens, y'all. Let's just keep it rolling though. Set all this back up. Got the gate right here, manual. It's all on all the white keys. So anyway, got the basic pattern here. We'll go ahead and quantize it. I'll put 1/8. And then what this is going to be the tip to it too is to right click on it and go to force legato. It's going to take it to the very end of the, or the beginning of the next note. Let's make it sound a lot smoother. So we're just gonna work with that. From here, let's start on our drums. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and we'll go the same process, MIDI, and then we'll go with the quick sampler. This time we'll go mono, and we want to load like some type of like hip hop drums in here. So we can go anywhere, but we're gonna stick with splice. And instead of melody here and the loops, we can do one shots. I'm just gonna throw this in here. We'll just build this out real quick. So we got a kick right here. So double it up by pushing Command D. We'll get this snare right here. And you might be asking, hey, why don't you use a drum kit designer or anything else like that? I just like the control that I have over just putting it right here. I know you can still edit it and do certain things in the drum kit designer, but I like doing it like this and separating it, because you're gonna have to separate your tracks anyway when it comes to like mixing and stuff like that. So make sure you get subscribed to the channel, y'all. You know, we dropping dope videos like this all day, every day, man. So we'll start with the kick and the snare. For a hip hop beat like this, I'll just play it manually. So I'm just gonna start with a snare. So we got that in, and pretty much it's a process of laying down something and then editing it here in the piano roll. From here, we'll go with the kick here. Then the beat's starting to come together now. So now we just push Command D. This is saving a step from me having to come over here and do this, da da da. So I just push Command D, and I can just drag and drop a new sample in here. Let's get a hi-hat. You can actually like search for certain things. Like I can just say hat right here. Now it's gonna pull up all the hats. We'll go with that one. So now we have our sample, we have a kick, snare, and a hat. Let's go ahead and start working on some other elements to build this loop up a little better. I'm gonna actually go with a bass sound now. So we'll go with like the MIDI here, and really I could actually just come in here and use the session player, go with this bass player as well. Let me see here. We'll go with Modern Motown, push create, and now we have an instant pattern that I could use. And so I can either do one or two things. I could like basically match this with the key of the song, or I can take this sample and match it with this. So if let's say we want to match the sample with this bass, you can hold down Option and push the up or down arrow on your keyboard, and it's going to move your sample up or down semitones. Now, in order to do this, you're going to want to go ahead and actually bounce this in place though, because we broke everything up and chopped everything up. It's not going to sound right. So we're going to turn this to audio. I just right clicked on it, bounced it in place. And now I can push Option and up or down. We can come in here and edit this session player like so. Take the complexity down if you want. So now I can right click this, and we can actually convert this to a MIDI region, which is going to now take it to another level. And I can come in here and move these notes around if I will. And I'm just using the Option and up or down to move notes up semitone. Now, if I want to, I could actually put these together, highlight them both by holding down Shift, and I can do up or down, hold down the Option up or down to take it up or down semitones. You can see the notes changing right here. So that's a quick way to get like a dope like bass line, something that you probably can't play as a beginner. And you know, you still edit it and make it your own. All right, cool. So now we're gonna need some other parts, maybe some type of part for the hook. One thing you can do too is, since this is an audio, you push Command D, and I can like hold down Option, drag this down, and I can push Shift, Option up, and take this up an octave. But let's like, instead of putting more samples to this, let's just actually play something. So I'm gonna go back over here and go to the MIDI, and then you can come over here to default patch, pull up your sound library, which is also right here, And then we can add maybe like some strings to this, or a violin. Turn that down some. And you want to keep that simple. I'm only using 4 notes. Just sounded it out. Do something like that. And basically, as you just keep building the beat up, you have different elements that all equal out to you having a dope song or dope beat. So what I would do is I would keep this simple. If you look and count everything here, we got only 7 tracks. And I'm just gonna say string. This is a bass. I'm gonna say sample 2 or B. I'm just pushing Shift Tab to move up, or you can push Tab. And then here we go. So I'll highlight everything, Command A, and then push Shift Option N. That's gonna name everything here. Now we got our loop. So now we got to take this loop and turn it into song format. So the quick way to do this is just to highlight it like that. You can close out some of these other windows, and then we can just push Command R. And that's going to make basically a photocopy here, and then you just keep on pushing it. All right. And so what I like to do is just mute out certain parts, like mute out everything, and then just like only have what I'm gonna have going for like the intro. Then I finalize it by coming over here. I'm holding down Shift, and then I'll just push Control M. So you're gonna see that kind of process as I'm tracking this out. So I wanted to just basically have it come in. This is kind of going to be like a verse. It's going to quick intro, little quick verse for someone to spit, and then we're going to bring the hook in here. But I want this to build, so I'm just going to take this hi-hat out by pushing Control M, and then take these 2 parts out, Control M, and then this part will be for our hook as well as the strings. And so now we have everything for the hook. So let's play it from the beginning. Quick way to actually feel this song out. I know we extended everything here, but you can delete some of this and then just highlight this section. So you got your hook, your verse and your hook, and then push Command R. So this is going to be verse 2, verse 3 and a hook, and then we're pretty much going to be ending this song after that. So, pretty long intro. Now what we want to do is probably like add some variation to this, so I can like unmute this one, maybe go with like a high pitched one, and then maybe like swap that out. So let's check it out. And then you also might want to have parts where there's no drums. So just check out how this flows. So this will be like our outro here. Cool. So there's a lot of other things we could do to this beat to make it super crazy hard or whatever, but I'm going to keep it kind of simple here and just give you some mixing tips. Now, I will preference that you're going to want to export these files as audio files. Just it's better to do that as a mix. So what I would do, there's two ways you could do it, but let's save this. Push Command S. I'm going to name it Soul God lower G, and then I can do Command Shift S and then do a second version of this. Now this is one thing you can do. These are already audio, but what you can do now, you want to make sure everything's nominal gain. Okay, the normal way to export your files is highlight everything, push Command Shift E, and then you'll do no overload protection, this, and it's going to export it. But if you don't want to do that step, you can just click on the track and highlight everything, click right here and do bounce in place. Mute it out, include your stuff like here. So boom. Just preferences, man, different ways to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to go through trying to find, like exporting it, put it into a new file, try to find the actual session and then open up a new session, do it all over, you know, it just, you don't have to do that. You could just do it like this. It's going to turn everything to audio files. And then we'll just put a, you know, basic mix on this. So there's that bass. Last not least, the strings. I can just delete all the rest of this stuff like that. Probably take about the same time, honestly, if you export it and drag and drop it into a new session. But anyway, here we are. We have everything. What I like to do is just come over here to the hook. Just click that guy. This is your mixer window. Bring everything down, all the levels down. And you can just start off with like the drums and the main part of the beat, which would be the sample. Want to make sure those drums knock, so like I'll bring these up to my liking, make sure that kick is knocking without distorting. Snare is same thing. Then you start mixing around it. This is where you can also come back over here to your mixer window, and on some of these you can obviously change it from like mono or stereo. It just depends on what you want to do in the mix. For like your kick, you just click that guy right there under your inputs, your snare, your hat. You want to keep those mono. Then what you could do here is once you get some basic levels, start EQing. We're going to do something called subtractive EQing. I'll come to this main sample, take some of the lows out. It's going to make some room for the lows of the drums and the bass. I'll just come over here under auto effects, hold down option and drag and drop that same EQ over here. We can also do that on this strings. Just giving y'all some simple tips here. Next thing we'll do is we could group these if we wanted to, just on some mixing, some simple mixing tips. I'm just going to clean this up right here. And then Alright, so now we'll just group these together. I'll just put like my drums right here in one group. Go to your output, bus, put my samples, do the bass, and we'll do that string. And now, instead of having like to move up the kick and the snare and the hi-hat, I can move up this whole drum group. What do we have next? We got samples, bass, string. And then like say when it's peaking up here but it's not peaking over here, you can just take these down some. There's other things you might want to do here, like add reverb. Instead of adding it right here in your audio effects, what we can do is send the reverb to the actual track here. We'll do this through our sends. So we'll go to the send, go to an available bus. We'll type that as reverb. And then you can put whatever reverb you want. So we'll just use a stock reverb. We'll go to just Chroma. This is a new reverb in Logic 11. Push that decay up a little bit. And let's just see how this sounds when we start to add this in. You don't have to add that much either. Just a little something on it. And that's another thing we can do now that we're even in the mixing. You can still like do some arrangement stuff. Like I might cut the 808 out, or not the 808, but the bass out sometimes. Push Command T. I'm just gonna take this like that. Set it up where I can like mute this part out sometimes if I want, because you want to let your beat breathe some. So let's just listen to it, and I'm gonna mute it out in certain parts. This beat is actually pretty hard. I'm gonna put this joint out at this point. This mug is hard, but yeah, man, this is pretty much some basic tips for beginners on how to make a beat. All right, start to finish in Logic. Let me know what y'all think about this video, bro. If this helped you out, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you'll also go to my website, beatmakingbasics.com. We have courses that you can purchase, sound kits, templates, lots of different things that help speed up the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can watch these videos here on YouTube and then search around, or you can get everything you need and just watch a group of videos back to back to back that all correlate with each other. This will be a little bit better experience with the courses. But appreciate y'all coming to the channel, man. I drop videos here often throughout the week, so make sure you get subscribed. We also have a channel's perks, which is I drop certain videos that the general public doesn't get access to, but that's only $3 a month to join. And yeah, man, get subscribed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. We're out.